Are you able to see the children right now?
No, ma'am. She currently is failing to obey the previous court order. She has kept children from me per the previous court order.
Have you bought clothes and dropped them off?
I dropped them off. They were given during one of the visits when the kids went back. I sent back uh, probably 10, 11 bags of between Walmart, Ross, Marshalls, things of that nature. So um, given back at the end of a visit.
Okay. If you had to estimate how much you spent on all of that, how much do you think it is?
Including like shoes, etc. I also did buy stuff for the third child, so I don't know what it would be without that. Just all in all is roughly $800 to $1,200.
And I will ask you, because I think the judge is going to ask, who is the third child that you're talking about?
When Michelle and I first started dating, she had a child from a previous relationship. He was 4, and so he's grown up with knowing me as dad. And before I had a biological kid, he's who made me a father.
Okay. Are you able to see the children right now?
No, ma'am. She currently is failing to obey the previous court order. She has kept children from me per the previous court order. Again, it was just Mila because Nash was not born at the time. But per the previous court order, Mila is actually supposed to be in my possession as we speak. She has failed to obey the current court orders. I was not able to have her on Father's Day. And I'm supposed to have her per the summer agreement.
Right. So you had a standard possession order for the oldest?
Yes, ma'am.
When was the last time you saw the kids?
I don't have the exact date, but it was about 3 weeks prior to Father's Day.
Do you communicate at all with Miss Listeri?
Through a third-party messaging app.
What's that app called?
I apologize. I do not have I can look it up on my phone. Hopefully it doesn't mess up.
It's okay. I think it's like close app or something. Anyway, so you have private app that allows you to communicate.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any criminal history?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Without going into the visitation too much, because again, we're not here to modify the visitation for your oldest child or enforce the visitation for your oldest child. Is there anything else that you feel like the judge should know about your situation?
As far as, sorry, what do you mean as far as in regards to my children?
So you had talked about, I think, with one of our child support officers about the child support amount. And are you in agreement with that child support amount?
No, I'm currently requesting a change of conservatorship.
For the questions, Judge.
I'm sorry, the screen froze up there in your last question, and I'm confused. What was the last thing that you asked him?
If there was anything else he wanted to tell you.
And what was his response?
He is wanting a change of conservatorship.
Did he file any pleadings or anything
no,
raising that issue?
No, sir. I just wanted him to have the chance to tell you because I think it was important to him that he be heard.
Ms. Lesteri, do you have any questions for Mr. Lesteri?
No, I do not.
Call your next witness, Ms. Stoker.
The state calls Miss Listeri.
Yes.
Will you state your full name, please?
Michelle Dawn Listeri.
Okay, and what is your oldest child's name and birth date?
On this order or all of them?
Sorry, the children you share with Mr. Listeri.
I just wanted to make sure. Mila Sage Listeri, her birthday is January 5th of 2018.
Okay, and then who's the next one?
It would be Nash Stephen Listeri, and his birthday is July 31st of 2019.
Okay, and you heard Mr. Listeri's testimony regarding your marriage. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you guys separated in March of 2023. Is that correct?
The last time we separated, correct.
Okay. You're in the process of getting divorced, right?
Correct.
Okay, who filed that divorce?
I did.
Okay, and when did you file?
This divorce is one that I filed in December of 2021, I believe. November or December.
Okay. Since Nash has been born, have you been living together consistently until March 2023, or has it been on and off?
On and off.
Okay. How many months would you say that you weren't living together?
Before you go any further, there's a divorce that's pending.
It's
Well,
pending.
Yes,
in
but
Bell
they have
County.
not gotten us a court date or anything because I've tried to get Nathan served. And they are saying that he is not at the house when they go.
We had
Where
to
is
do
this
a
divorce-
substitute.
Where is this divorce filed?
In Bell County, that's where we resided together at the time.
Cause number off the top of your head?
I do not.
I have it, Judge, if you want it.
Go ahead and give it to me.
It's 21 DFAM 327845.
That is not a Bell County cause number.
I have all of the paperwork for it. It
And
has been
I'm not-
filed and amended.
Bell County cause number would be a number, just a number up in the hundreds of thousands at this point, because they just number them sequentially from the time the district courts were created there. And then it would be followed by a letter suffix, so it'd be 329845-D or A or C.
That is not what they gave me on my paperwork. I'm sorry.
I practiced in Bell County for a long time, and I know how they number the cases in the court.
Well, our old divorce that was out of 2018 that I filed was that way. But whenever I went and filed it this time, they gave me a DFAM number.
Well, and so that divorce is pending in Bell County right now. And then this case should be transferred to Bell County, and it should be consolidated with the divorce.
The Pro C lady that I deal with is the one that told me to go this route to try to get the custody order at least temporarily placed and go from there. That was her advice.
Because she no longer lives in Bell County. I think that was the hiccup that she was having.
The
Yes.
family code doesn't say. The family code says that the SAPCR follows the divorce. So if they have the file, if Bell County was an appropriate venue to file the divorce in, then this case has to be transferred there and consolidated into the divorce.
So you want me to do a transfer, Judge? He hasn't been served on the divorce, so she couldn't move anything forward there. And so I think she's just been trying to get something, right? We did substituted service for him on this case as well.
And that would be appropriate to do in the divorce as well. So neither party lives in Bell County anymore.
No.
And ask Ms. Lesteri your other questions.
Okay. So roughly how many months have you been apart since Nash was born?
Right between a year and a half to 2 years, somewhere between that.
Of total amount of time?
Yes.
And has he helped you by sending you any money?
No, he will buy the kids clothing, but that is all.
Okay, you heard his testimony about bringing clothes for the kids, is that true?
Yes.
Are you asking for back child support for the times that
No.
you guys weren't living together? No, okay. What insurance are the kids on?
And they have his insurance, and then I qualify for Medicaid, so I have kept them on Medicaid for the time being.
How often does he visit the kids?
He is supposed to have the standard possession order. However, we had a really bad incident and some things happened. So he has not seen them since 2 weeks before Father's Day.
Can you describe to the judge what happened and why you haven't let the kids see him since then?
So we used the app close, and after I dropped the kids off with him, he's told me, let's play my game. And he went on to barely update me about the kids at all. The whole entire weekend would not accept that he was going to return them. Whenever I got there, he insisted that I give him the birth certificates for the children in order to get the children back. So he negotiated with them and used them as a pawn in order to return the children. After I had the cops intervene, the cops mediate and hold the birth certificates because I do not believe he would have given them back. Were with me, and we got a little ways down the road, and both of them profusely started crying, and Mila expressed, which is the older one, that she was scared she wasn't going to get to see mom again.
Has he ever threatened to take the children before that time?
Yes.
And when was that?
It's been over the whole, off and on throughout the years. He has told me that he was going to take them to California. He has told me that he was going to make sure that I was not around them hardly at all.
Do you have any concerns with his drug or alcohol use?
No.
Okay. Do you think he would ever do anything to physically harm your children?
He has gone after Nash bare butt with a belt. And that scared me more than anything. He did it to my oldest despite my agreement. And he has also threatened my oldest kid, which is what got us where we are today.
Do you have any concerns about him knowing where you live?
Absolutely. He has admitted that there was one time whenever we were separated that he pulled up to my mom's house and that he did have a gun and that he thought about using it. And that terrifies me for my kids.
Okay, how long ago did that happen?
Nash would have been a baby. I'm not exactly how little he was, but I would say between 6 months and a year old, maybe a little older than that.
And he was born in 2019.
Correct.
And you guys, you said you've been communicating with AppClose.
Correct.
Has that been working for you guys?
Yes, because there have been times in the past where he would blow my phone up until 10 or 11 at night. And now I don't have to worry about it because after the kids go to bed, I put the app on mute for the night. There's no reason to communicate. The kids are asleep. They're happy. They're safe. And then I turn it back on in the mornings.
Are you asking for supervised visitation?
I am at this time.
Okay, for Nash.
Particularly Nash, yes.
Okay. Do you have someone that can supervise that you would trust?
I mentioned his mother, Danielle Rico. I believe that she would make sure that my kids are safe and well and everything taken care of.
So you're concerned mostly about him taking the children?
Correct.
And about physical punishment?
Correct.
Is there anything else you think the judge needs to know about y'all's situation?
The main reason that I left this last time was that Nathaniel struggles in school and Nathan set him down at the table. And one of the last comments that he made towards my 11-year-old was that if he didn't get his stuff done, that he was going to be in a hospital so he wouldn't have to worry about going to school the next day.
Okay, and that was to your older son that you guys don't share together.
Correct. And so that worries me of whenever Nash is old enough, what would be said to Nash and Mila.
I have no further questions, Judge.
Mr. Lesteri, do you have any questions for Ms. Lesteri?
Not questions, but am I able to make comments? No questions, other than if you would like to provide proof of any of the allegations, do you have proof of any of these allegations?
I do not have proof, but there is a police report made under Nathaniel's name of the incident whenever I left.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Oh, your next witness, Ms. Stoker.
The state rests, Judge.
Mr. Lesteri, you testified, you said two different things earlier. You said that the health insurance costs $350. At one point, you said a month, and then you also said you paid, that's $350 a pay period. Which is it?
No, it's $350 split up over my pay periods. I apologize for the misunderstanding.
So it's $350 a month. They take half of it in one pay period and the other half in the next pay period.
That is correct.
And then the dental insurance, that's $15 per pay period, right?
That is correct.
For the child Nash, was there an acknowledgement of paternity or was that well, he's born during the marriage. Don't worry about that then. What the court is doing today is entering a temporary order. Parents are temporarily joint managing conservators. The mother temporarily has a right to establish a domicile. And for the time being, the domicile will be established in McLennan or contiguous counties. Of course, ordering a standard possession order. Mr. You understand that you're going to have the children on specific set times that you can monitor or follow, and they need to be returned without negotiating over anything. They just need to be returned at the time they're supposed to be returned. Child support, I got a gross of $5,312.50. Giving him credit for the health insurance and the dental insurance, which he's going to, with Mr. Lesteri, is going to continue to provide. I have net of $4,278.30. 25% of that is $1,070. Really a step down to $856. All issues are reserved, and the court on its own motion is transferring this case to Bell County to be consolidated into the pending divorce, which right now 21D FAM 327845 is the cause number that has been given to me. I don't believe that that's, unless they've changed the way they're numbering cases in Bell County, it doesn't look like a valid Bell County cause number, but whatever the cause number is, this case is consolidated into a case styled in the interest of, or in the matter of the marriage of Michelle Lesteri and Nathan Lesteri. So if whatever happens in Bell County is, y'all gonna need to chase that down or find it out or figure it out and get it taken care of. It may be appropriate to try and transfer the case somewhere else, but this case, this legal action has to be in the divorce. That's what the family code says. And there is no discretion about that. Ms. Stoker will prepare that order and we'll send it to each of you, email, review it, sign it. You're signing it doesn't mean you agree with me. It just means that you've seen it, and return it to her. It's an app called DocuSign. Everybody in the world, I think, now is using it at some point. Is there anything else, Ms. Stoker?
Clarification on the non-disclosure.
Non-disclosure is granted at this point. So y'all need to figure out where you're going to meet to exchange the children, and put in there that Mr. Listeri needs to give Ms. Listeri 48 hours notice of this, that he's going to be. In other words, y'all work out where you're meeting 48 hours before he's supposed to pick the children up. And continue to use the application, the app on your devices that you've been using in the past. All right. Anything else,
Nothing else, Judge.
Mr. Listeri?
I had a question in regards to, so we're changing it from maintaining the primary residence in McLennan County or any contiguous counties. Is that correct? I heard that change.
I'm ordering that she will maintain the residence of the children during the pendency of the suit and pendency of the divorce in either McLennan or any county that touches McLennan. So that's Hill, Bell, Falls.
I have already moved with the children and been down here for many months, and we have done exchanges just fine before this.
Okay, that's fine. On a temporary basis, I'm limiting where you can live. If you're in Hill County, good for you. If you're in McLennan County, good for you. But that's what's happening. This case is going to Bell County to be consolidated into the divorce. All right, Ms. Stoker, if you'll draft that, we're off the record.
Just one clarification, Judge. I think she is not currently living in a contiguous county to McLennan. That's the problem. She's not wanting to, she needs to move.
No, she doesn't have to move anywhere. She's supposed to maintain the children. I'm having a hard time wondering why this case is filed in Hill County.
I resided in Hill County whenever the state went after me. However, my mother has since sold her house, so I do not live there anymore.
What county do you live in?
I lived in Atascosa County.
Her mother did not sell her house, Your Honor.
That's it. We're done. Maintain the residence of the children in McLennan, contiguous, or Atascosa County.
Right. Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Yes.
I take parenting time extremely seriously. And I just had in the last month and a half, I've had 2 cases where a parent did not provide for parenting time and they went to jail and they were able to think about it. One of them, unfortunately, by the time they went from that table to that door, they thought about it and they decided that they would provide for parenting time. The other one, the parent had to wait about a few hours before they realized they didn't like it in jail, and they were going to remain in jail until they provided for parenting time. So